What's up, everybody? Celtic Scarecrow back whenever you get those 10s and 20 views. I'm not wearing a gray shirt, it's more teal, but I guess due to the color correction and my green screen, I think this is the best I'm going to get. But today is Saturday. It means time for the final direction in the compass of the NFL. We're doing the AFC East today. As you see, we got the beautiful color teams going around. And then, like I said before, I'm going to color next season predictions and whatnot. I'm going to have rival colors in the thing. So those who will just flip, make it life easier. But yeah, let's just get right to it. And we are starting off with the New Jersey Jets. Oh, favorite ones. I like them all. Like, this is the only one that's not an actual logo. That's actually the hockey logo. But I like that better for the Bills and the Bills logo. Alright. Best case scenario for the Jets. I think I've said this 100 times throughout this series. I need to move myself over. Maybe physically. There we go. That's the name. Best case scenario for the Jets is Aaron Rodgers stays healthy. He's not a distraction to the team, and that team just moves smoothly with Aaron Rodgers as quarterback. Does everything that they think that they should do. So with that being said, I do start off with a loss. I'm sorry. Even with Aaron Rodgers, I don't think you'll beat the Niners right out the gate. I don't have enough evidence that you guys would do that. So, yeah. Week 2, Tennessee. Okay, there's a nice win for you. Coming back with a nice win. Actually, kind of looking at a couple weeks as favorable after week 1. You play New England. Nice win there. Even without Aaron Rodgers, I still think you're probably the better team. You will beat the Broncos. You'll beat Minnesota. Best case scenario, you sweep the Bills. So that's really good. Wow, this is a very favorable schedule, in my opinion. You beat the Packers. Once again, you beat the Patriots, which the S did not make it into the thing. There we go, Patriots. You lose to Houston. I like Houston better. Overall, Brown team. But then you would beat the Cardinals, beat the Colts. Week 12 bye. Ouch. That's not a good bye. Beat the Seahawks. I'll give you it. You'll beat the Dolphins. Beat the Jaguars. Best case scenario, you beat the Rams. You beat the Bills. And the best case scenario, you actually split with the Dolphins. So you win there. So in the best case scenario, you go 15-2. This is a very favorable schedule. Like, the only real tough teams on this schedule that I can see will be the Dolphins, which you have to play twice. Maybe the Rams. Maybe the Seahawks. And Houston. And your week 1 against the Niners. Other than that, those are all extremely favorable matchups. But if we go best case scenario, we auto have to do worst case scenario. And worst case scenario is Aaron Rodgers gets hurt again. That's really it. Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, decides to retire, say, you know what, I can't stay healthy, I'm sorry. I'll just go hang out with Pat McAfee and do other things to make money. So, with that being said, you lost to the Niners in the best, you will lose to them in the worst. Lose to Tennessee, I do like Tennessee. A little bit more than you in your worst. You would still split with the Patriots. I have zero faith in that team.
A few moments later.
Lose to the Broncos. Lose to the Vikings. Swept by everyone in your division is not named New England. Lose to Steelers, lose to the Patriots. You already lost to Houston the best. You beat the Cardinals. I like you guys slightly better than the Cardinals. I'm iffy, so you get the loss. Bad bye week. Lose to Seattle. Lose to Miami. Lose to Jacksonville. I think that's pretty much the rest of your season right there. Lose to the Rams. Lose to the Bills. Lose to the Dolphins. So, in the best case scenario, you went 15-2. In the worst case scenario, you went 2-15. So, number 15-2 pop up. But realistically, looking at the schedule, saying that Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, I see really no reason why you're not winning somewhere between like 9 and 11 wins in the season. That is a very favorable matchup for you to have as like going forward. Like outside the bye week, this is a like big test week 1. But other than that, this is a very, very favorable schedule. Moving on to Buffalo. Yeah, I don't need to change the logo. Oh, crap. I do need to change that for some reason. It needs to be adjusted. Slight adjustments are made. Hit the scrap there. All right. Best case scenario for Buffalo is they change the logo to this. I think this would be a great logo on the side of a helmet. That's just my opinion. No, best case scenario is they knew what they were doing by releasing all those players. So, I trekked through a storm to get this today. So, best case scenario, you start off with a nice win. I have no faith in the card, so there's that. Best case scenario, you probably split with the Dolphins, so this is at Miami, so there's a loss. You beat Jacksonville. Lose to Ravens. Even in best case scenario, I like the Ravens more than you. It's best case, so I'll give you the difference between you and Houston in this one. You would sweep the Jets. Stuff just falls. Beat the Titans. Beat the Seahawks. Here's that win versus Miami. Beat the Colts. Lose to KC. Another Week 12 bye. What's with this division with Week 12 bye? Lose to the Niners. I like them better. Wow, this is a rough patch. I'll give you Detroit just to be fair. Beat New England, beat the Jets, beat New England. Wow, that's a favorable back half season. If I did my math right, you should be 14-3. I think I have you at. But it's like last 3 games, New England, Jets, New England. If you're fighting to get into the playoffs, that is a playoff bracket. But this section right here, Lions, Rams, Niners, Chiefs, Colts, Dolphins, that is a gauntlet. Now moving on to worst case scenario for the Bills, which is pretty much plain and simple. You lost a shit ton of players this off season, and it comes back to haunt you. So that being said, I still have you beating the Cardinals. Cardinals are one of my bottom 5 teams, probably drafting top 5 next year, so there is that. Lose to the Dolphins, you get swept by everyone in your division that's not named New England. Lose to the Jags, lose to the Ravens, I didn't give it to them. Lose to Houston, it was a flip, there's that. Lose to the Jets, lose to Tennessee, lose to Seattle, so it's swept by them. Lose to the Colts, definitely lose to KC, bad bye week. Lost to the Niners, lost to the Rams, lost to the Lions. You beat New England at home. You lose to the Jets, and then you lose to New England. So in worst case scenario, you go 2-15. Now, in my opinion, looking at this schedule, I think you probably win 6 to 8 games this season. It's going to be a rough season if you're a Bills fan, especially since the Sabres also don't look like they're going to be that good for a tiny bit. So yeah, that is going to be a no. As a rough season, especially since you lost so much. It's a great test for Josh Allen to see where he is. Next team on the docket is one of my close friends' favorite teams, the Miami Dolphins. Got to scroll up though. That's preseason. There we go. Regular season. Best case scenario for the Dolphins. Their O line stays consistent, even though they lost a guard to Carolina. Thank you. The defense plays a little more secure, and they can develop a run game. That is really. It's not even like they're saying they need the line just needs to play about the same or slightly better. They need to learn how to run the ball, and that would be the best case scenario. So that being said, you start off with a win in Jacksonville. The best case scenario, you sweep the Bills. You beat the Seahawks, beat Titans, beat the Patriots week 6. It's a little early for me. You kind of got the other end of the stick on the bye week there. Beat the Colts, beat the Ravens, like I said, swept the Bills, beat the Rams, beat the Raiders, beat the Pats. Ooh, this is a Thanksgiving game against Green Bay at Green Bay. I'll give it to you. You beat the Jets. Ooh, I think this is a track meet game. Since it's at Houston, I will give it to Houston. Best case scenario, you somehow beat the Niners coming back. Make them because they have to go to you. Beat Cleveland. Beat the Jets. Wow, this is a nice schedule. Best case scenario, you went 16-1, and I could argue you could go 17-0. It's like Cleveland is a mini tough game. Here's your 2 toughest games of the season: Texans, then Niners. Like, and one's a 1:00 game, one's a 4:00 game, so it's not like you have to worry about time. Like, the Packers could be a tough game there, but everything else does not look bad. In a worst case scenario for the Dolphins, Tua gets hurt. Tua has proven not to stay healthy. So yeah, that would be the big kicker there is Tua doesn't stay healthy. So that being said, I still no, you lose Jacksonville. Jags, I like the Jags. In a worst case scenario, I think you split with Buffalo. So there's a win. There. If I'm it's going roll. If I go you lose it. You win the best. You lose the worst. Here's a loss. Beat Tennessee. I like you better than Tennessee. I still think in a worst case scenario you split with them. So this is at New England. So you lose there. Lose to the Colts, but beat the Cardinals. Lose to Buffalo. Did you already play Buffalo? Yes. Loss, win, loss, win. Okay. I'm just trying to do my math in my head. I thought I messed up somewhere. This was at Buffalo, so you lose to this one. You lose to the Rams. You beat the Raiders. You beat Patriots. Lose to Green Bay. Worst case scenario, you get probably swept by the Jets. I'm going to just say. You lose to Houston. You lose to Frisco. You lose to the Browns. And the Jets just beat you. Now, I'm not 100% sure if I did the math right. So, in worst case scenario, you're either 3-14 or 4-13. Either way, I don't think that's going to be the case. Tua has stayed more healthy throughout this year. And looking at the schedule, I can see you in that 8 to 11 win ratio. I know I do 2 games, but that 3 game, I see you right around just above 500. Now for the final team. The team that I think will do the worst. My way too effing early prediction for the number 1 draft pick. Granted, I have not seen their schedule, and that is the New England Patriots. Uh, Best case scenario, this team performs so far ahead of where it's at, and Drake Mays just goes off. I think that's the quarterback. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? Uh, no. Team. There we go. Left click. Scroll back down. They do play Carolina week 1 of preseason, so that is.
A few moments later.
I scroll the door all the way. Yeah. Drake Mays is their quarterback. So, yeah, Drake Mays plays out of his mind, and everything just holds up. That being said, in best case scenario, you lose to the Bengals. I like them overall as better team, but you beat the Jets, beat the Seahawks. You probably split with everybody in your division. So this one's at New England, so there is a loss there. You lose to the Niners, lose to the Dolphins, lose to Houston. Wow. Ouch. That's all I'm going to say to those games right there is ouch. In best case scenario, you have your 1 bye. Beat the Jags. Get your revenge on the Jets. Beat Tennessee. Beat Chicago. Beat the Rams because best case scenario. Not, even in best case scenario, I still see you losing, getting swept by No, I'm gonna give you this one. No, I'm gonna give it to you. Best case scenario, you split your whole division. Beat the Colts, week 14. Bye. Someone doesn't like you. Beat the Cardinals. Lose to the Bills because at Buffalo. You know what? I'm gonna give it to you. Just be kind, and then you beat Buffalo in the end, which puts you at like 11-6. I think I had that. Yeah, 11-6 is your best case scenario, which actually is a lot more than I thought you would be. But in a worst case scenario, you have the unfortunateness of you have a rookie quarterback, rookie head coach. You don't think you guys really have a line. I don't think you guys really have a defense. So therefore, I should almost just save myself. I'm going to save myself the issue. You're not winning a game. Like, you would lose to. I'm just have 0-16 up. I don't feel like editing it so many times because you would easily lose. The only winnable game in a worst case scenario is this one. Is the Cardinals. Like, I don't even need to argue any other game. You would just lose them all. But that being said, I think realistically, you probably win 4 to 6 games in the end of the year. Yeah. So, who I think is going to win this division? I have the Dolphins. They've been consistent. They've been doing fine. That's it. That's all I have. I'll see you weird people later.